Hey guys, today we're going to be doing oil change on the 2015 Yamaha R3. It's just a walkthrough video because I already actually did it. To do the oil change, I use a 12mm socket wrench, but you can use any 12mm wrench. I also went ahead with the OEM brand. It's called Yamalube, and I used 10W40. I also got the Yamaha oil filter and crush washer, and I have this old drain catch pan and funnel. And if it's the first time you are doing the oil change on this bike, you'll probably need one of these. It's an oil filter wrench. There's a different kind, but this one I found works really good. I used the one that had the circular one, and you wrap it around it. But that one never worked good for me. But this one works really good. Okay, so when I did the oil change, I didn't have a bike stand to put it on, but I found out you didn't need one. The catch pan actually fit under the bike, even with the fairing on. But I actually ended up taking the fairing off because when I was trying to take the oil filter off, it was getting in the way. So there's 3 screws to take this fairing off. There's one here, and one up here, and it just comes right off. And that lets you access the drain screw better and also the oil filter. You're gonna get your 12mm wrench and then take this screw off, and obviously make sure the catch pan is underneath because all the oil is going to come off once you take this screw off. And then right across of it is this oil filter. Just twist it off. Alright, so once the oil is completely drained from the motor, so once it's stopped draining from here and over there, you want to go ahead and put this screw back on, and then put the new filter back on. And when you put the new filter on, make sure you pour in some oil. And then the OEM filter actually the lip came already lubricated, so I didn't have to put any oil on the rim. But if you buy a different brand that doesn't do that, then you might want to do that. It helps create a tighter seal. And then just turn it 3/4 to a full turn. You don't want to turn it too hard. I mean, once it's on there, it's most likely not going to fall off, especially if you put the oil on the lip. But yeah, I never ever, like, every time I put it on, you should be able to untighten it with your hand. You don't want to have to use a tool. Alright, so once the drain screw and the oil filter and the fairing is put back on, just come over to the other side, because now you're going to actually pour the oil in the motor. So when you're on this side, you're going to locate this screw. It says Yamalube right on the cover, so it should be pretty easy to spot. Then this just twists off by hand. Once you twist it off, get your funnel and start pouring the 2 quarts in there. So what I did is I actually just poured the 2 quarts without measuring. Once I put the 2 quarts in there, I stood the bike upright. So you're gonna, it'll be helpful if you had a friend, but I found a way to do it without one. So just put the bike upright, and then you want to use a sight glass, because the R3, this model, does not actually come with a dipstick. So there's a sight glass here. If you put it upright, the oil, without turning the motor on, should fall between the minimum and maximum lines. And I actually put mine to the maximum line just in case. So when you do turn the engine on, the oil obviously it's going to drop because there's going to be oil running throughout the motor. So that's okay as long as it drops between the minimum maximum lines. Alright, you're also going to have to reset the oil light on your dashboard if it's flashing. It might not flash right away, but maybe after your first ride or whatever, it might start flashing. So to get that flashing to go away, it's just a reminder saying that you need an oil change. You're going to hit select until you get to trip and mile. So I already did mine, so it's not flashing, but if you didn't, it'll be flashing right here. Then you're going to hold reset for about a couple of seconds, and then you're going to see the word mile flash. Once it flashes, just press it again and it should stop. It's going to reset. Alright, the last thing you want to do is make sure that the oil is not leaking. All you have to do for that is look under the bike. There shouldn't be any oil under the bike, assuming that you moved it to a new area or you wiped out whatever spill was there. It's also a good idea to look the next morning, wait 24 hours or whatever, make sure that there's no oil still, and then you're good to go. I also want to mention that when you first take the drain screw off, it's good to look for any pieces of the engine, like any metal shavings or whatever. What I did is when I took the drain screw off, I got the screw, and I got a paper towel and I wiped the screw on the paper towel to make sure that there's no pieces of metal on it. I also looked through the drain catch pan, and I actually looked through the oil to make sure that there's no pieces of metal in there. And once it's all drained, once I drain the oil into where I'm going to transfer it to recycle the oil, I also looked in the drain pan there and I didn't see any. And I rode this bike really hard, had no braking period. I just started riding, and luckily there was no oil. So so that's good. I think these bikes are made really well, so should be good to go.